And here we go. We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside FD off. Bring in FD off. Off. It's orange!
45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
This methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You read? We don't need any more of these.
Well, hello everybody. It's time for more Flight 10 preparations. Let's play a positive angle on this because yes, it's Ship 37. Yes, it's returned to Pad 1. This wasn't the plan when SpaceX thought about these modifications and doing static fires on Pad 1. They thought 2 static fires, an in-space burn, 6 engine burn, get it back to the production site, finish off the TPS, send a booster out, demodded pad, stack it and send it. But unfortunately, one of the RVACs said, I'm not happy. And SpaceX said, well, I'm sorry to hear that. We'll have to replace you then. And because we replaced an engine, it's got to go back to the pad for more testing. But it shouldn't take long. And we should still probably, maybe, potentially have a flight in August of Starship, the world's biggest rocket, which is everyone excited about. I'm sure they are. To talk about this preparation for Flight 10, we're joined by Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hello, Chris, and hello, everyone. Yeah, I mean, pre-flight testing for Ship 37, take 2.
Indeed. And we're also joined by Ryan Webber. Hello, Ryan.
Is this deja vu? Like, and it's, you know, and it's not for flight, unfortunately. It's for more engine testing because, well, they had to swap an engine because something broke. So, yeah.
Indeed. And we might, I should have asked in advance, but out in the field, out there in the baking hot, it really is hot, by the way, it's even hot by American standards hot, is Jack. Jack, are you able to at least say hello?
At least say hello.
That'll do. Yeah, that'll work. And producing, because I never thanked the producer, but this is a special Jay Keegan production, so I should very much make sure I say thank you to Jay, who's pushing all the buttons in the background, making sure that these internets come through your screen, and you get to watch this live as if you're there, as if you're next to Jack. Imagine that! Next to Jack right now, in real life, next to Jack, watching this. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But this is our next best thing, having camera views and watching Ship 37. We've got to make sure we get the naming right here. Ship 37 out there to Pad 1. We've just seen the cop cars, so that's a good sign. They're going to go straight onto the road and go straight through onto Highway 4, which is what we're hoping for, because sometimes they can just stop where they are right now for like an hour, and that'd be really silly. But we have plenty of opportunities to take questions regardless. So if you do have a question, do our NASASpaceflight, followed by your question. It goes into our special panel, and we'll try and read as many of them as we can out. Wow, it's a good start in my mouth. My mouth is saying, no, I don't want to talk. But we have lots of questions we can answer because we have the experts in Alex and Ryan. I'm going to ask Alex first. Where do you think, because this is the burning question, where do you think we stand as far as a flight date right now?
Oh, geez. You know, with this whole retesting, so we saw those, that local notice matters that points out to at least no earlier than August 22nd. But, I mean, it could be any day after that, right? And it's very tight. Like, this is rolling out, it's August 11th. So we're talking about 11 days. Ship 37, as you can see, it's still not complete. It's got a bit more tiles since the last time we saw it. At the very least, it seems like they worked on the tiles a little bit more. But there are still a few missing tiles on Ship 37. There you can see some of those gaps, especially on the aft flaps there and the forward flaps as well, and part of the nose cone and all that. So there's a few missing tiles, so they will need to install those. we assume they're also going to be installing the Starlink simulators because they've been trying to, do a test deployment of those for I don't know how long now, but many flights ago, right? So I assume there's going to be a few days of preparations after this is tested. We have a potential test closure tomorrow, very late. It goes until 3 a.m. I think it goes. And then we have another one also on Wednesday. So hopefully they get it ready, they get it tested tomorrow, so they can roll it back on Wednesday. Because otherwise, then they will have to test on Wednesday. My point with this whole long answer that I'm trying to make is that it's gonna be very tight to make the 22nd. So we'll see, because they also need to remove all of the modifications to pad 1 as well. I only talked about ship 37, but there's also the pad as well. And then they have to bring booster 16, which is a bit to the right on this view out there at the Rocket Garden. So let's see what happens.
Yep, it's now at the road waiting for permission to enter. Look at all the cop cars down, the security cars. It's definitely going to enter the road without any delay at all. And it's about an hour at the most to the pad. So this is going to be, oh, here we go. We're entering the
There it
road
goes.
now, Highway 4, yeah. No waiting at all. As if there was just traffic lights there waiting for him. Imagine traffic lights for a ship. It'd be amazing. They'd have to have them on like 500-foot poles so they'd actually be able to see it. It's amazing. I'm going to thank some people because I have to start with North Antarctica. Anyone who's used to Raptorcides will know what North Antarctica's like when North Antarctica says, let the games begin. Uh-oh. North Antarctica may risk going bonkies, and that happens a lot on the YouTube side, on the Raptor side. I want to mention YouTube side because people are watching on X as well. We do stream to all devices. The way we do this is it's the best of both worlds. We'll give you all the options you want. I do think YouTube is obviously the bigger deal because it's more designed for this kind of live stream. And I just noticed someone like Adrian saying it's a lot cooler watching on YouTube. I think you got more options there. But again, if you're on your phone, you're at work, and you've only got X open, that's one way to be able to watch it as well. So we like to provide it. But obviously, we're reading YouTube chat and reading out YouTube questions. That's the way it works. So that's the best of both worlds. But YouTube is probably the most central part of the way we do this. Phil gifted 5 red team membership. Thank you, Phil. Bideford, our regular with a big one. Good afternoon, or is it evening for you, Alex and Chris? It's evening-ish. And Jack and Ryan and Jay as well. Alex, so you've been busy today. Thanks, NSF. Hugs out to everyone. Yeah, didn't we cover something earlier today, Alex?
Yeah, we had the Kuiper launch from the Cape. I was there on commentary. I'm also here on commentary. I'll probably be tomorrow as well for the potential testing and also on Wednesday. So we'll see.
We don't let Alex rest. Oh, my word. Hang on.
There's also
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've got to do it. Sorry, Alex. I'm doing it. Ooh.
No.
On your
Go
behalf,
ahead.
but you'll see in chat there's a reason why.
Yep.
Right? Rocket Scientist 1. $200 super chat right off the bat on a rollout stream, which is bonkers. And I do know why. Rocket Science 1 is a lifetime L2 member and wanted to give somebody, but that person was just recently joining our team, and that when you join our team, you get it anyway. So I was honest enough to say to Rocket Scientist, no, put your wallet away, I'll deal with it. And he said, well, I'll still support you some other way. And he's gone and done it in a super chat. That's bonkers. Thank you for that support. That is amazing. Also, we got a tip from Wyoming Cust. Poor Adrian's never going to live it down. The Wyoming Cust did a tip, and that is the best way of doing things because that means everything comes towards us. Again, all super chats are very much appreciated, don't get me wrong, but that is the purest way of doing it. So thank you for that. I've got to do my best Jack impression. Bacon, there's what he was. So Bacon references for Jack. Everyone's got their own little sayings. Yes, Alex.
Can we appreciate this view right now with the clouds in the background moving?
Oh, thank you, Alex.
Look at
Because
that.
it's very pretty, yes. It's also kind of weird. Is that like a low cloud layer and a high cloud layer? Because they're both going in different directions. We need Adam Culker on. He knows his clouds. There's the payload bay, the slot. We hope this works. By the way, everyone's forgotten about that because of the Block 2 fun with the engines. But they've not yet had a proper success with the payload. I mean, they've not deployed any Starlink Sims, have they?
They haven't had any success with the payload base so far. Anytime they've tried to test the door in space, they've had issues with it. So the hope is that they can load Simlinks this time and actually get a successful door open and deploy. so they can see that the system works, or say it doesn't work and there's a jam or something, they can figure out a way to fix it for going forward. Because eventually they're going to want to start to deploy Starlinks, and well, they need to test the system before they do that. So
this is a great view. This is like you being on the side of the road right now. I'm sure this is thanks to Jack, I assume.
Do we
Somebody
have
confirm it is
SPMT
Jack's view this. Yeah. Oh, it's actually one of our bots. Amazing. Let's have a quick sneaky peek up there. You chat. North Antarctica, you're at it again. You're going to break me before I even start. We're meant to be doing commentary here rather than just reading out breaking crazy support. But there we go. That went quite fast.
Watch your head.
Yeah. That's incredible. It just shows you as well how fast the SPMTs can go, which is surprising because they're much faster than the crawler transporters. I'm going to mention shuttle. Just minutes into the stream, 11 minutes into the stream. The crawler transporters, I mean, you've seen them from SLS as well, to be fair, but even the space shuttle, they would go 0.8 miles an hour. That was their main speed up the crawler way towards 39A and 39B. And SLS was pretty much similar. And the main weight was actually the SRBs, because the SRBs were loaded, and that's what the main weight was. Not the entire vehicle, just the SRBs were the main weight.
Chris, it's Monday. It's not Shuttle Sunday.
I know. We need to do a Shuttle Sunday again. I mean, we've done one recently. I'm going to spam chat with the... Oh, that's already been done. Thank you very much, chat. Way ahead of me. That's a great view. I mean, it gives you a sense of scale for the size of this thing. And this is just the ship, remember. This is the upper stage. This is the upper stage. Now, take any other rocket, like Blue Origin or something like that. Look at their upper stage. Then look at this upper stage. Look at SLS's upper stage. And look at this upper stage. It's a different kettle of fish completely. It's amazing. I do have questions. People don't. I'm sure a lot of people don't understand that saying kettle of fish. I've noticed that. Maybe it's just me. I default to my Yorkshireness. But there we go. I have a question for you, Ryan. When do you think the first ship catch will be? Because we're looking at ship right now. When do you think the first time we'll see a caught ship?
it's going to be sometime into Block 3. Ship 40, Ship 41 or later. Even if this is a perfect flight, they're not going to orbit with 38, not with that one. They need more successes in a row before they'll be allowed to overfly land with something like this. Because they haven't tested this version of the heat shield yet. They haven't. With the new gap filler and Block 2's heat shield, they haven't tested it yet. They've gotten like bits and pieces of data off 35, but nothing that would give them any useful data for like a controlled reentry. So they don't know. And then when 39 flies, assuming 39 flies with it being the first Block 3, 39 B-18 could turn up being the Ship 20 Booster 4 of Pad B. I will see. But, it's a brand new block, brand new engines, all this other stuff. I expect to be a suborbital flight, and then they go to orbit after the fact, assuming it works. As we all assume, 33 would be a suborbital flight. They get to orbit on 40, and they try to catch 35. Well, that didn't happen. So I'm expecting it to be late next year, something like that.
Very good. We have plenty of time. We're gonna have a long stream here for this rollout. As you can imagine, it's not racing down there at 30 miles an hour. It'll be a long stream. By the way, school bus, random school bus. But we have lots of opportunities to answer questions. I just want to get this out of the way because we have so much support, and I definitely want to recognise it. And I'll quickly do this now. North Antarctica's back. I would never do that, and that's in reference to the breaking me of earlier. Behave yourself, North Antarctica. I know what you like. Mr. Coffee's back. Gifted red team membership. Jeff row your boat has gifted red team membership. KZ Keach, I hope I did that right, has become a PADRAP member. Welcome. The Cosmic Nebula, Starbots, Roller, Optimus Prime voice intensifies. Phil, Chris, have you been shouting at football? You sound a bit horsey. Actually, I did go to the football first game of the season, but it takes me a while to lose my voice. No, it's for other reasons, but I won't get into that. North Antarctica's back again with a $200 super chat. I'll throw in my LT member also. What the heck? See, I assume you have this disposable income to throw around because that is a lot of money, and I don't want you to put yourself in any bother because you've done more than enough as is. You could never super chat ever again. You've already, done your part and then some. Adrian, it's meant to be a lot cooler watching it on YouTube than it is meant to be in person and heat, haze, and insects. Oh, yeah, of course, that's the other thing, because I always think it's cooler to be there in person, but we don't appreciate. And maybe if you're able to talk, let me know if you can't. Just how hot and bitey insect is it like right now?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, Chris. It's extremely hot right now, but it's also been very dry, which means the bitey insects are somehow not that bad. If we get a little bit of rain, it'll get bitey real quick. But right now, it's just very hot. And we are in the worst part of summer, is what it is. But we are very, very slowly coming into the rainy season and the end of summer, so the heat won't be forever.
Nice. By the way, quick shout out to Star Factory. Look how smooth that's looking. That is looking impressive. I mean, Ryan, I assume they're going to do a little bit more work on it when they add the Gigabay and then attach it. I mean, how's it going to work that? The Gigabay gets built and then they just sort of like join the two pieces up or something?
I kind of expect there to be an interior hallway. So when Gigabay gets built, they'll probably build a tunnel that goes from the nose cone hall, the door that's already there. It'll basically go into a tunnel which will go into the back of the bay so that they can roll sections through a covered area into the Gigabay in order to get stacked so the pieces never go outside until it's a completed vehicle and it rolls out on Highway 4 to get cryo tested. That's kind of what I'm expecting at some point, but I mean, we haven't seen any plans, so we'll have to see and wait. Unfortunately, that could be like a year and a half, 2 years until we see that, so.
Put some tape.
Ryan, I apologize for reading this out, but it is kind of funny. Astra Knucklehead says, Ryan, my pessimistic sister is still single.
No, okay. So for you don't know, I was kind of having fun with the RGV flyover stream that they did back on Saturday, and Astra Knucklehead said the same thing, and he's saying it again. So whatever.
Oh,
you trying to set me up here? Is that what we're trying to do? Like what?
That'd be amazing. Oh my god. B1062. This is just a random question. It wasn't even done right, but I'm going to read it out. Aries 1 Mondays. No, it's never going to happen. Can you imagine the amount of content we've got for a start? It's not like shuttle content where we've got like 135 missions.
We'll be
to go
5
through.
minutes. It will be
It'll be
done
5
very
minutes
quickly.
and 12 people watching. Here we go. Someone a regular member. Kevin. I think it's Kevin Michael Reed. Yeah, Kevin Michael Reed. I've seen his name before. I've seen his name before. I have seen his name before. What do we think about the tiles?
Whoever that is, their name makes them sound like a real jerk.
Wow. Jack's job security just went on the pan. Let's start with Alex, because I know Ryan's got thoughts. Alex, what do we think about the tiles?
Well, I mean, they have some more work on them, I guess. The ones that are installed, they look good. Like the patches, especially like somewhere in the middle, above the aft flaps. There's a bunch of complete tiles essentially there. There's a huge patch there of completed tiles, and they look good. I mean, doesn't seem that bad, but of course there are a few still missing on the nose cone area, especially near the flaps, and also at some of the unions between some of the barrel sections there up at the top. So yeah. I don't know what to think other than that.
I would like to thank our stream sponsor, FedEx Ground Services, there, just for providing. I wonder if he's actually providing some NSF merch in his pack. There we go. Could do a stall, little pimp there, but we won't do a transition because that'll be too on the nose. But you do see a lot of. I mean, obviously with Starbase growing now, Ryan. I mean, I should ask you about the tiles first. So let's ask you about the tiles and your thoughts, because it is an intriguing question. A lot of people are asking, to be fair. And then we'll move on to the way that Starbase is growing. But the tiles right now, it's not a flight configuration at all, is it? It's still got work to do.
Yeah, there's still a decent amount of work to do. They got to finish filling in all the dome where the dome welds are. Those are where the smaller tiles are, so that they could keep them pinned rather than gluing them like Block 1. Which is still frustrating to this day that we have not seen how well the newly pinned tiles work. Because we can go all the way back to when we were talking between Ship 31 and Ship 33, when they have all these changes on especially the forward flaps and areas around the flap fairings, and especially around the dome weld lines. Those were all glued on Block 1. Now most of them are pinned, and we haven't seen how those fare in a reentry, because they haven't had a controlled reentry yet. We're almost coming up on a year since we've last seen a good reentry for Starship, which is it's not the greatest, but hopefully we can get one in maybe 2-3 weeks. I'm hoping, but they still got work to do.
Yep, indeed. I'm going to quickly take a few UK-related questions on my behalf. James Corrin said here in Britain, it only went up to 28 degrees Celsius today. I say, as only? Excuse me? Now, first of all, everyone knows it's a complete fact that UK temperatures are actually not the same as American temperatures. So when we get hot in the UK, it's like twice it is. I keep telling Max this. It's like twice. So like 56C. That's what it was like today in the UK, 56C. There we go. It is actually, there's videos on YouTube about Americans coming over and saying, wow, UK heat's different. I don't know what it is.
42C.
Oh, here we go. Here's Alex with that. Spain is better.
Yeah, we're in a heat wave right now, and it's been 42 today. I don't like it.
Hey, Alex, have I mentioned that York's got one of the largest cathedrals in the world? It's not as big as Seville's. Oh, here we go.
Ours is older.
Minnesota's these are kind of nice.
Alex, didn't yours take like a century to build or something?
No, it's complicated. It was at the beginning a mosque and things like that, so it's different.
Also, Dronners says, I have just come back from a 3-week tour of England. Yorkshire was great. Whitby was also great for a launch day. Right. So I did joke about this, that if point-to-point became a reality and it became such a commercial success that a point-to-point basis all over the world, I would say the East Coast, the Yorkshire coast, I would have gone for Scarborough, personally. Scarborough, because it's obviously better links. Whitby's kind of very much a small town, but Scarborough's more like it. It'd be amazing just driving up the A64. The UK people know what I'm talking about here. Just driving up the A64, getting on a Starship, and going to Florida in 30 minutes. What? That's the future. That's the future I want. It'd be amazing. I mean, I'd have to be rich for a start to buy a ticket on it. I mean, Gwen Shotwell said it's going to be the same price as airline tickets. Ryan Webber, do you think that's ever going to be the case?
No.
No. I think that's pushing it. I mean, the reality of it... Yeah, go on.
The logistics of point-to-point. I just want to tell you just the very, very basic logistics of trying to operate aircraft. You not only need a runway for it, you need the taxiways for it, you need the ability to get on and off the aircraft, you need to have maintenance, or at least contract maintenance within calling in case something breaks. There's a lot of things you need to have in order to make this operational, especially getting fuel. Starship, you need a place to land it, you need a place to launch it from. You need to have a place to hold a whole tank farm with sub-chilling and cryogenic propellants, and the logistics of creating some kind of point-to-point. No. It's not going to be like you're doing it inside land. If you're talking like coastal cities, maybe. But trying to go in the middle of land, no.
No, I do love the concept, but when we wrote the article and did the video, I mean, I wrote the article and I was getting more and more depressed the more I was researching it because of the challenges involved, but it is still an official plan on the SpaceX overview of what Starship is capable of, and that's why we're going on about this, because it is related to what we're looking at right now. Once Starship becomes successful, it's a long path, but I do think SpaceX now, Alex, has become more and more focused, as been expected with Elon in charge, on Mars. I think that is their primary focus. Get this operational, start deploying Starlinks, get involved with HLS, and then probably commercially, would you say commercially, or would they work with NASA on getting their missions to Mars on track? What do you think?
Well, I mean, there's a chance at the very least that at some point in the near future, there's probably going to be some kind of Mars HLS of sorts. In fact, the presidential budget request sort of hinted at such a thing, like at least a Martian CLIPS, for example, CLIPS being the commercial lunar payload services contract with the smaller landers, but there's also bigger landers, including Starship as well, in that contract, and then there's also the human landing system as well for Artemis. So there's already some talks and some even on paper plan to maybe get a Martian version of those contracts, of the CLIPS contract and the HLS contract for Mars, because if it works on the moon, it must work on Mars, right? And so that's sort of the idea. And so maybe we'll see Starship in that sort of contract application, I guess. They might bid Starship for that in the future. We'll see whenever it happens, if it happens, because it's still, policy stuff and everything, very chaotic.
I do like that when I mention random UK towns that even most of the UK may not have heard of, although Scarborough's quite famous, that we get comments in chat. I want to just first of all test, before I answer this one, where you're all watching from. I find it intriguing. There's no real reason for me asking this other than I'm intrigued. So just name your location. We know where you are, Jack. But yeah, chat, let us know where you're from. I want to see the spread of around the world. I just find that fascinating when you're talking to people around the world. Is absolutely bonkers. The reason why I'm asking is because
pan of Europe.
Look at this. Chile, Leeds, Chile, Wales, Sweden, Spain, Canada. Oh, Morecambe. Unfortunately about your football club. Doncaster, Norfolk, South Africa. I'm reading. Oh, it's so many. Look at this. We've got 3,800 in right now, and just all over the world. I find that
Starbase.
I find that we know where you are, Jack. I tell you what, I've seen 3 from Chile. Suddenly, Chile's become like the Starbase fandom capital of the world. This is amazing. This is the same person spamming Chile. Texas, there we go. Not surprisingly, Nebraska, Minnesota. There's a Ryan from Minnesota. There we go.
Is there anybody? I'm curious because, like in Australia right now, will be in the middle of the night, right? Or about to be morning.
I've seen 3 Doncasters. That's bonkers.
It's not.
Donny.
It's Minnesota. Yeah.
Oh, is that how you say it? All right, special way of saying it. Steve, the reason why I asked him was Steve Longley said Brit is better than Barbados, that's it, yeah. There's Ponte Carlo and Cas Vegas as well. Steve will know exactly what I mean. We give fancy names to grim Yorkshire towns, and that's the way it works, apart from Leeds, which just gets the dirty in front of it.
Nobody from Seville, come on.
Oh, come on. Someone pretend you're from Seville. Just keep Alex happy.
Seville.
We're in the frying pan of Europe right now, so.
Yeah, when the wind comes from the south, we know it's Spain sending us some hot weather. Here we go. School bus to scale. School bus for scale. Look at this.
Park there.
It's actually a really cool shot.
Jack, what is that school bus? Is it some worker transport or is it just a school bus?
Yeah, it's contractors. The school bus will bring them in the morning and take them away at the end of the day. It's like not the SpaceX, the star buses, but for the private contractors who are probably contracting for a contractor who's contracting. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's what that bus is for.
Here we go. SPMTs. I don't have the stream audio in my ear, so forgive me if I start. I can't hear it. I'm pressing the wrong buttons.
Do you want me to make the noise for you?
Thanks, Jack. No, the reason why I ask is because I know when we're talking, everyone goes, "Can't hear you, Chris." SPMT
It's there,
noises.
it's
Caution, watch your head. Have we worked out what SQR stands for yet?
Oh, no.
Hey, do you want to? If you want to go down this rabbit hole, Chris, we
Yeah, I do.
absolutely can.
Yeah.
I think we can safely assume the R stands. Hey, what's up, dude? I think that we can safely assume the R stands for ring wall. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. As for the S and the Q, I'm not sure what the S and the Q are supposed to be for.
It's like, get out of here.
I would really love to know. But I know that there's multiple different ring walls and multiple different types of ring wall. So I suspect that whatever the SQ is has to do with identifying these types of ring walls versus other types of ring walls. Now, beyond that, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's ship quality ring wall. I don't know. Like, this is the good one. This is the quality. I don't know. I would really love to know, but we don't actually know.
The quality one.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I've got to be honest, I kind of tuned out because I was too busy laughing at the copper saying, "Get out!" You can't take pics there, mate.
Honestly, it's probably good to just like mention if you are going to be in Starbase or you plan on seeing a rollout at some point. The rules can be sort of nebulous. I mean, some of them are hard and fast and never change. Like, don't go across the street to the side of the street that SpaceX facilities are on. That sort of thing. You know, sometimes the law enforcement will abide somebody walking right along the stack. Sometimes, most of the time, they won't. In fact, recently is part of their like little brief that they sometimes give before a roll to the media that's like standing around. They'll be like, "All right, you can be behind it, you can be in front of it. Please don't walk alongside it." Like they've kind of added that. So not a surprise to see that sheriff be like, "Hey, get out of there."
Hey, this is a unique view. I don't remember this view at all. How are we doing this?
The reason it's different, Chris, probably from what you're used to, is it's still our highway location. That little bit of property we have right there next to Highway 4. But I think maybe what's throwing you off is there's been a lot of groundwork. You can see how there's I believe you Brits call them bollards in the grass, delineating the line there between the grass and the dirt.
Yeah.
We would call them posts because we're simple-headed Americans, but, you know, bollards, whatever. A lot of that dirt area used to be vegetated as well, and you can see there's even a steamroller and some other earth-moving equipment right there, and they've been doing a lot of work there, laying various utilities and other things, so maybe that's throwing you off, like it's a wide shot from this angle, and you're seeing the result of many months of road work resulting in dirt? I don't know, maybe. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
That was a very long answer to something I wasn't referring to. But it was through the trees. It was when we had like a shot of the top of the ship through what looked like a lot of shrubbery.
I've not seen that angle before. I gotta leave. Bye.
Bye. This view. What camera's this? Here we go. I'm waiting for Jay Keegan, our producer.
I bet it's 11.
That's the CP11 view, but looking across towards where the highway is. Oh, that's fascinating. I'd never seen that view before. It was kind of nice when you first had it on because you had the ship poking through the gap in the trees, which was quite nice. But yeah, it is never changing view. It was still a very valid answer from Jack because it is never changing view on Highway 4. They've even got that roundabout at the end, which is bonkers for America, especially. I didn't think America did roundabouts.
Actually, Chris, they just, I think today, added the roundabout to Google Maps. So if you want to go review the world's greatest roundabout, you can go over to Google Maps and give the Starbase roundabout 5 stars. There's never any line. There's never any wait. It gets you where you need to go. 5 out of 5.
My word. Right, let's take some more questions because Dron is back. I'll start with Dron and I'll move quickly on to questions. York already has time travel. York Centre. Spaceflight will be easy. The York Centre in York actually takes you underground to the old Viking city, which York was a Roman city to start with 2,000 years ago. And then it went to a Viking city. And the York Centre surprises tourists because they've actually got it smelling like it was. And it smells of, you can guess. And it always surprises the tourists. I always find it quite hilarious when I come out looking very upset. Static fire today, Ryan?
No. They'll roll it out. They'll get it lined up with the sticks. They'll probably lift it either in the evening or nighttime. We'll see if they attach the QD, which is kind of laying on the ground off to the side. They'll have to attach that to the ship either before they lift it or after they lift it. And then they'll have to manually hook up all the hoses. They have to hook up all the RVAC bracing, test everything. The first closure they've got is 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. tomorrow, which is, dear Lord, SpaceX, why?
Amazing window, Ryan.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely outstanding. And then if they don't make that, they've got, 6 a.m. to, I think it's 4 p.m. or something along those lines. That's the other window that they've got. And that's during the day on Wednesday. So I'm expecting them to hit Wednesday. I don't think they'll be ready for that 4 p.m. one, but, who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. We'll be live, of course. You can imagine we've got Starbase live at 24/7, so you definitely don't miss a thing. But also, when there's an event like this, like a rollout, we'll go dedicated commentary because that's the right thing to do. We're covering this, every little aspect we can of this preparation for Flight 10, as we have been from the days of Hopper.
It's going to be funny, Chris, because if they go at the beginning of the window, that's... Well, at the beginning of the window or in the middle of the window, I don't remember. We're also going to have Vulcan from the Cape as well, launching. So, yeah, double streams probably, potentially. We'll see.
And hopefully no nozzles blowing off the little side boosters. We don't want any of that again. Although I did got an amazing view of it, and I thought it was quite funny. We also have a question about the future of Ship 37 once it's completed this testing at Pad 1, Ryan. Yeet 3991Y, what a username, asks, will Ship 37 roll back after testing, or will it stay at the pad?
It'll roll back. Probably go back on a work stand. Get its heat shield fixed. Get its FTS installed if it doesn't already have it, which, as far as I know, we haven't seen the placard in Mega Bay 2, so I don't think it's got it. So heat shield finishes, FTS, then take it off, put it on a transport stand, load it with some sim links. Don't know how many, but I expect them to try that again. And then they'll roll it out after Booster 16 rolls out, stack it, and we'll see if they do a tanking test or they just send it. We'll see.
In my panel, I've just got literally Droners. It's just giving me his complete travel itinerary in England. I've got like 5 from Droners about his visit to England, which is amazing, but I can't read them all out. I want to thank some more support. Wow, okay. Oh, here we go. Nathan. 'Tis sinfully hot and humid here in Texas, so use this to make sure the folks in the field stay hydrated with a combination of water and Dr. Pepper. Jack likes his water, but it's this weird water. It's like water.
It's not weird.
It's weird. I can't say what I say it looks like. It does look a bit weird.
It doesn't. I don't know. Chris, you have some misconception. When I go to Europe or England or when I go overseas, sparkling water is a normal thing. Why is sparkling water so foreign to you?
I think it's the color of it, because I think maybe I was a bit deceived by
clear.
A camera.
It's transparent.
It's crystal clear, buddy. The bottle has yellow on it.
Ah.
It's the tag thing, right?
It must be that
the sticker.
Then. Yeah. I was thinking, why is Jack drinking that? Anyway, Josh Davis, quick question on the new booster hot station. How will they complete the directional flip with the new version of the booster? Ryan?
What is it? I think they said they were using, they'll use thrust vectoring and thrust differential or whatever they were going to use. They're not going to do the they're not going to block off part of that hot staging. I think it did stuff to the ship they didn't like. At least this is what it kind of looks like. So they'll just use thrust vectoring to do it.
Very good. When Shrug Patch from Anonymous. I like that. You didn't have to send a super chat. You could just ask the store. But you're asking me live on air, and that's completely fine. That one has been... normally, the way it works with our patches, we want to make them sure they're right. And we will have Flight 9. When we get to full stack, the routine is we'll reveal what Flight 10's patch looks like. Sorry, I'm talking about Flight 9. Flight 10. It's amazing, by the way. I'm not going to leak it. I'm very tempted to, but I'm not allowed to. But it goes on pre-order. The pre-orders then wait until the patches are all made, sent to our distribution hub in the States, and then they're shipped out. And that's the way it works. The shrug patch has taken longer. It was more of a fly thing where we did it. I think it was because of Flight 10, wasn't it, Ryan? I can't remember now. But that shrug patch, when we first got the sample back, it wasn't perfect, and we want it to be perfect. We're not just going to say, oh, well, fair enough, we'll just ship it out anyway. So we asked them to redo it again. That's what took a bit of a delay. So we've got a thing on our store which keeps you updated on things like that, which you might not be aware of. So use that link for other things. Well, it's a blog on the store page, and that gives you an idea where it is. But I know it's soon. It's soon they'll be shipping out. And just keep informed via that link. That link will update when we've got a date for them to ship out and stuff like that. And then obviously you've got to wait for where your location is for the shipping carrier to get it to your house. It's not like everyone gets it next day. It's not like Amazon Prime. I wish it was Amazon Prime. But basically it'll be as fast as possible. So it's on the way soon, but we're on it. We've not forgotten about it. We're just making sure it was right. RC Horseman, one of our team, has done a $200 tip.
Jesus.
My word. I know. That's
Really jumping.
Yeah, I'll go with the second one. I love the channel, the community, and behind-the-scene people. You have helped me immensely through some hard times. I didn't even know about this. Thank you. Well, thank you, RC Horseman. I'm glad to hear that. We've all got our own things going on and what have you, but if you're like me, you just don't mention it. Well, I probably mentioned it too much now. But I appreciate that because it is fun. I give the example that when I get stressed out on various things, I'll go into our chat. I will go into our chat. I won't leave our chat. I will go into it because our community is amazing. I can't imagine many channels who have that on different subject matters who can say that, people who are behind the scenes actually go in feet first into where they're working to get away from stress. It's a bonkers situation, but it's just basically it's a way of saying our community is awesome. It really is. It's a fun place, a really nice place. Binary Glue has gifted a subject, no message. Allegio, Argentina. There we go. I can mention Argentinian footballers, but I won't because Americans be like, who? Apart from Messi, you'll know who Messi is. Adrian, gifted a Red Team membership. James Yeomans, love all these rollouts with you guys. I was wondering if Mary is okay. I've not seen much of her or any pics from her. She's been on vacation. She's been away. That's where Mary's still talk to Mary and still involved. But Mary's away at the moment. That's where she is. So you not heard from her because of that. Oh, Ryan, I don't know where to... This is real future talk now. But what if we get a nuclear-propelled Starship? Is that even a possibility?
I mean, I honestly, the only way you get one of those into orbit, I think, is dependent on having to build it in space. So you send up a Starship kind of like an empty Starship and you build the nuclear engine with it in space rather than launching it from Earth or something along those lines, like send up components. I don't know if a nuclear Starship, you could launch it as a second stage and it uses the nuclear engine from hot staging and go. I don't think it could do that. But I think eventually there might be a nuclear powered Starship. I don't think it would have to be built in space though.
Yep. Alex, do we know how many wheels are on the transporter? So how many wheels are on the SPMT? Do you know off your little spreadsheets?
I have no idea. It depends on the amount of axles that they have.
Ah.
I really don't go counting the axles every time they roll, so I have no idea how many they have.
But that's a good answer because that means it's not always a set amount. They can change it. They can modify it and reconfigure it based on what they're rolling. Which brings me on to another question. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, because they have different lengths of the SPMTs, and they can also slap different. Like it's modular. It's literally on the name, right? Self-propelled module transporter. So that means they can strap more of them and have a longer SPMT essentially, if they wanted to. So, for example, for the launch mount roll for Pad 2, they had 3 very long SPMTs, right? And so it had hundreds of wheels on that roll. But continue.
Yeah, I'm going down a rabbit hole here because it came into my head. I was asking you the question, and that is one for you, Ryan. They're going to get the first Starship for Florida from Starbase, Texas. Now, how do you perceive they'll do this? Will they transport it out like a rollout to the pad, but to the port, then crane it horizontal, put it on a barge, which we don't know about yet, but it can be a very big barge, and then ship it, and then reorientate it back in the turn basin, back onto SPMTs vertically. How do you envision they're going to do this?
For boosters, I expect them to do have a breakover fixture, which there might be one in Sanchez right now. We don't really know yet. It's kind of hard to tell, but they might be making one in there. And break over a booster and transport it horizontally and barge it over to the Cape and go to the turn basin. Ships, you could do it with a ship too. But I honestly think the easier way to do it with a ship is to fly it there and just catch it on that tower and put it on a transport stand. And not only that, you get to test the launch pad there too. I honestly think that'd be the easiest way to do it. But that becomes the question then. It's, well, do you want to wait until you're confident enough in catching ships to get to that point? Which would likely be end of next year or something along those lines is what I would think. Or do you want to try to transport a ship horizontally with a heat shield, or do you not install any of the heat shield and transport it through the Gulf and then have to do an entire heat shield in the Cape? Because I guarantee you, going through the Gulf and everything with that heat shield, they'll probably lose stuff. And I think the ship stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it from my view, but the truck that was leading the convoy stopped, and now it's backing up. And now they look to be taking a gander at the SPMTs. We might be in for...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hang on. I'm going to zoom my feed in.
Enhance. This happens, by the way, if you're new to these rollouts. I'm sure I know we get new people all the time. Just finding their interest into Starship, obviously finding us, and then watching these things for the first time. This happens. This can happen quite often, where there's like a breakdown, you have to do something with an SPMT. Remember, there's 2 motors involved on either side. It's not just one device, and that's where if one of them's not happy,
now it's going.
they'll have to fix it. Yeah, it's fixed. There we go. That didn't take long, did it?
Or it was just they saw something weird, wanted to stop for a second.
The best one was where they were rolling out the Orbital Launch Mount for Pad 2, and they were literally driving through mud. And they were just doing one wheel at a time to get through this muddy patch. It was amazing. Real skill involved. Obviously, the people involved with these transportations are skilled SPMT workers. They know exactly what they're doing with these things. But it was quite... I thought they'd never get through that mud, and they just got through by raising and lowering an axle at a time. It was incredible. More thanks, by the way, because I can't believe how much support we're getting. It's bonkers. Rocket Man, thank you for your support. No message. Virginia, thank you for your support. No message. You could have put some message in there. It's amazing. Rocket Man's back. Here we go. Why don't we re-enter ship the same way we re-enter Falcon 9, an entry burn? Why don't they do an entry burn? Alex.
Or the booster?
Yeah.
Because it's going slow enough that they don't need that. When you look at the telemetry on the super heavy flights, when they do the full stack flights and all that, and you look at the entry speed, it's going a lot slower than Falcon 9 at re-entry. So they can just do away with the re-entry burn. It's RTLS, essentially. It's just returning back. It doesn't go that far or fast to need a re-entry burn.
By the way, I've been informed by Jack that the guy on the bike, you can see in the middle of this screen right now, that's Anthony from Rocket Ranch. Hey, so I've got an opportunity, because they're good friends with us, to put ranch command into chat. Now, by the way, the command's in chat. You can all do it yourself. You don't need me to do it, but I'm going to do it on his behalf. But if you ever see us changing our view to masses from our Rocket Ranch position, spam the chat with ranch by all means, because they deserve it. They're good peoples, as Jack would say. Wayne, Chris, best fish and chips. This is a super chat. Best fish and chips, Scarbados or Skeg Vegas? Oh dear, only the Yorkshire people understand these references. By the way, Scarborough fish and chips are amazing. Just got to watch out for the seagulls, who take a good liking to your chips, and they will definitely take them off your hands if you do not guard them. Chris Hughes asks, do we have more info on what caused the retrying of Ship 37 engine testing? Would it have to do one of the previous failures of the previous test flights? No, see, it was about Ryan, wasn't it? It was about the RVAC change, but do we have any ideas what was wrong with the RVAC from causing to swap it?
I mean, I just say this. SpaceX has never fired 6 Raptor engines through a tunnel. And that's what they did on the Pad A. Who knows what that did with the plume and what that did to gases or anything that trapped or whatever. That's all I'll say. The makeshift thing that they made could have totally done something to those engines that they didn't foresee, and then they had to swap one out. It's possible, or there was another reason why. But I mean, I personally want to put it up to something was weird with the testing because it's a kind of test in a kind of way they've never done it before. So
very good. I've just done a Nightbot command. Ninja guy Dan wanted to list all of the available commands, so I'm going to put that into the ticker, and I've just done it there with the commands command itself, which ironically is how you bring up all the commands. There is a lot of them because I have had many a long night where I've thought up some funny question marking apostrophes commands for you all to enjoy, but some of them are actually quite useful, like explaining what acronyms are. I think they're the most useful ones. Things like Maximus are just fun ones, but there's lots of commands in there. I think that provides you the list. There we go. We also have a question from MK111, who asks, do you think SpaceX will use Booster 17 on Flight 11, or will they reuse Booster 15 or 16? Alex, what do you think for Flight 11 Booster?
I think they'll use 15. It's there. 17 has not even gone into the Mega Bay since it did its cryo, and then it was put at the Rocket Garden. They haven't really touched that for a while to put it in some way. While the 15 is still there, so maybe. Ooh, look at that, Raptors!
I know, engines.
Oh,
there's your 3 RVACs and your 3 sea levels.
Do I see correctly, or do the RVACs don't have?
They're on.
The
stiffeners are not on. No.
Yeah. So will that rule out a static fire then?
They can install. They can
them.
install them.
That's true. But they did roll out last time around with those, though. Didn't we see that installed already?
I don't remember if they had them when they rolled out last time, but they can still install them on the mount. They've done that. They've done that before, where they install it once they get to the location.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they after they lift it, using the dance floor and whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if they install them.
I do remember they were at least on the lift, because I remember being on that stream and pointing at those out. Like at least that. So in theory, like between now and when they lift, they could in theory also install them, but we'll see. See, there's a huge patch there in the middle where there are complete tiles. Like, yeah, there are a few tiles missing, but it's sort of here and there, right? It's not like there's a huge patch of them. See, there's a bunch of here that are complete. Then you go to the aft flaps, and of course there are missing tiles and whatnot. But it's only in certain locations. It's not like, ooh, there's thousands of them missing or something like that.
Looks like it's turning towards entry into the pads now. I stick it on pad 2 for a laugh. That's what I say, Ryan. Stick it on pad 2 and just confuse media.
Okay. Well, they can't, so.
I know. They can't even stick that. That's a fact. A fun little fact from that silly joke is they can't even stick a current booster on pad 2. It's designed for the next block.
I wonder.
And for the record, there are 3 RVACs. I'm seeing some people confused. There are 3. The one that you probably didn't see is the one that is closest to the camera, and it was blocked by one of the hold down posts on the transporter. So, but it's there.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. The problem is I don't think they will test just your joke about putting a pad B. I don't think they would use even 37 or 38 to test the sticks out, mainly because I think the stabilization points are going to be different, because the new sticks don't have the pins to go into ship sockets, which really points, as well as the new 4-point lifter they're making, is I think the sockets are gone on Block 3. No more sockets. It's the catch pins plus the stabilization pins, and that's it for lifting stuff. So I don't even think they could test it even if they wanted to, because I think the stabilization pins would be in a different spot. So
I think Jay's lining up something on the TPS, by the way. Your own TPS. Because we're watching TPS on the Starship right now, but we're going to have our own version of that. Here we go. There's a Stinger, and there is TPS. These are literally, I mean, when I first saw the design for these, I was like, oh, I want one of those. I want one of those. I do like my my water bottle, shall we say. There's obviously cups in there, what have you, but have you. These are TPS, and they're based on the TPS of Starship, and they are awesome, and they're in the store, and I'm definitely having them because I think they look great as well, and they look fun. So it's also on topic, and we've got the re-entry phone cases as well. Look at that. We've got all sorts of TPS. In fact, we've got TPS coming everywhere. We've got the TPS that you can imagine SpaceX probably have in store to do their tiling on their ships. We've got so much. We've got a long range of merch there in our store. And there's a Nightbot command coming to chat about it as well. That's awesome. Yeah.
Warning, the merch is not meant to protect orbital ships from re-entry.
Ah, thanks, Sawyer. Thanks, Sawyer. Yeah.
Somebody asked the other day, we were talking about the cases for the phone. Somebody said, if I drop my phone from orbit, does it survive re-entry? We're like, no, it doesn't.
It's quite good though. Jay's showing us right now. We've got like full descriptions and Q&As and people who might have questions. We've got lots of answers in there as well on the store page. So that's really cool. We make sure we keep you informed best we can on what we're doing. But yeah, again, when you get stuff from, I do like the store as a way to point. We get lots of super chats and it very much appreciated. But when you get support from people who are buying things from your store, this works across all channels, by the way, all your favorite channels. When you get something from the store, the way commerce works is there's a profit margin. What a surprise! Yeah, and that helps us because that profit margin goes into what, like a super chat, goes into helping us provide you more and more views. But the cool thing about this is you get something through the post, something physical from us that you can either have on your wall or you can have on your wear as clothing, because it's t-shirts and all manner of shirts and what have you. I always find that cooler. And as someone who's actually got something, maybe it might mean more to me because I started NSF, but when I got something through the post the first time from the store and it had NSF on the envelope, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So yeah, I find that a real cool thing that you get something in return for your support as well through your commerce because it's a store. There we go. I went long-winded there. Right, Jay, we can move on there because I've just went long-winded on that. And get back to ship and see where we are before my monitor turns itself off. That's why I was just straining there because I was trying to reach over to stop it from turning itself off.
Already at the launch site.
Already at the launch site, yeah. By the way, when do we think, I mean, the sticks have moved. I heard people talking before the rollout stream started on SPL saying the sticks had already moved. So are the sticks in position to accept ship already?
They are. Yep.
Very good. When do you think they'll lift it then, Ryan? When lift?
Later today, tonight maybe. We'll see.
That's the shortest Ryan Webber answer ever.
Well, I don't know what else there's.
Yeah. By the way, historical people in chat will know from the early days that Ship 37 is currently going to get eclipsed. Well, should we say not really eclipsed because it's very small, but Hopper is in view. Hopper, I hope they look after Hopper. We're all watching Booster 12 and what's going to happen with Booster 12. The word in the street is they're going to preserve Booster 12, not scrap it. Of course, when they start bringing out scrapped rings out of the Mega Bay 1, they will all go, maybe not. But that's the current thinking that Booster 12 will be saved. I hope that Hopper also gets a pride of place. I don't mind if it stays there, because that is a nice pride of place next to the launch site, keeping guard, as it always has been since it landed. But either way, if they do eventually move it from that area at the launch site, that they put it somewhere pride of place, because Hopper is important to all of us, as I'm sure you'll appreciate. And yes, it's Hopper, not Hoppy. There we go. Nigel Tocken.
It's Hoppy.
It's not. Oh, Alex, hang on a minute. Are you?
Yeah, no, it's Hopper.
Yes, thank you, Jack.
It's Hoppy.
What the heck? Hang on. I'm going to put it into chat. It's actually a command, which Nightbot decides. There we go. Nightbot.
Alex, are you going to be on stream for the Volky launch tomorrow?
No, I'm not.
Oh, reminds me, I'm looking forward to the new Glenny launch. It's coming up end of the year.
Yeah, so you're
Right.
getting it, Chris. Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Oh man, just put a Y at the end of everything.
Yeah, Shuttley, don't work. Nigel Tocken. Surely, we've got so many Yorkshire in here. Surely Shelby, oh God. Whitbyville is best for shipping. I can't talk. You're giving me silly names to read out. I can't do it. But no, Scarborough still wins on fish and chips. Thank you. Wolf Caller, can Pad A handle a full duration static fire test? Ryan?
No. It doesn't have enough
no.
water.
We're getting
It doesn't have enough water to do it, and they're not going to do. And by full duration static fire, I mean if you're talking 8 minutes, definitely not, or like 6 minutes is what it is. But no, they can't handle that. And they're not going to do a 60-second on it either. They did a 10-second last time. If they do a static fire this time, I expect it to be a single RVAC or an RVAC in a center. If not, it'll just be, I'm kind of thinking a spin prime, because they've done that in the past. When they swap an engine, they just do a spin prime rather than a static fire. But we'll see what they do.
Yep, very good. Oh, Joseph got something from the store. Great product. Go ship. Let's have a look. Let's see what Joseph got. I did see someone in chat saying read out a store message. I am. They'll come into the panel if they're a store message. Who got the TPS bottle? There we go. That's cool. That is a Starship steel water bottle. That's it. That's the best one. Well done. Great choice there. And Eddie Wright just on a super chat. With no message. Thank you, Eddie. That's very much appreciated. Thank you for your support. I did see someone. Hang on. TM. Oh, can't read your name out. It's too long. 25 Gaming. If you're telling me they weren't made out of Pika X unsubbed. Yeah, how much would they cost? How much would phone covers cost if they're made out of the proprietary Pika X the TPS material that SpaceX uses? I think they'd cost quite a lot because it won't be cheap.
Also, probably wouldn't be good for you because I think phenolic resin, if I'm even saying that right, is not good to like handle or eat or ingest or be around. I could be wrong though. I'm not a material data safety sheet, but yeah, phenolic impregnated carbon ablator, pica. Bye.
Bye. Gabriel GG, I presume it was a good game. Is Elon actually planning to use AI aboard Mars missions and also the moon? Yeah, Grok Imagine is going to get us to the moon. Ryan, what do we think SpaceX will employ? Let's take the Mars missions with the bots, because I find that fascinating. He's going to send Optimus Prime bots to Mars on the first ships to Mars, rather than humans, obviously. That makes complete sense. Do you think maybe they'll employ something? Because the fascinating thing here is when you send commands to robots on Mars, it's like 30 minutes or something before the command reaches the rover. So that's why it becomes a very big challenge with the rovers we've got on Mars right now. What if you program the bots with some form of AI to go and do the work autonomously without that delay between communications? So there's something in there, isn't there?
I mean, you don't really need to use AI to program the bots. You can just use simple programming to program bots to do certain things.
Yeah, I feel like if you left it, if you leave it to AI, and then you're like, oh, it eliminates the time lag in communications, and then all that means is you have an 8-minute time lag to finding out that the AI went haywire.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Go ahead.
I think you leave it to just simple programming. You tell a bot to do this and do that and do this and do that. That's what we've been telling robots to do for a while, like the simplest rovers and whatnot. You just do that. You just have a set program, not something that needs to learn or anything. You don't really need that.
One of the things, in fact, that JPL has been doing lately with Perseverance is that, and that they didn't have on the previous rovers, is precisely being able to have more autonomy, in the sense that whenever it drives forward to a site or whatever, it can do it on its own and it has some capabilities to detect hazards and things like that. They also use that with Ingenuity, the helicopter as well, and it only had a camera. Right. With a camera and good programming, in theory, you can teach a vehicle. And I'm going to do a parallelism here. You can teach a vehicle to avoid things like, I don't know, other vehicles and being able to read road signs, right, Tesla?
I can't imagine any sort of Tesla, any sort of applications for that, Alex.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
there are
I'm deeply skeptical of AI in general. I feel like it's like a buzzword these days. It's like the current thing where it's like every company's like, oh, we're doing AI this, we're doing AI that. So I'm deeply skeptical. But that said, Chris, I think one thing that might actually be really useful for a Starship mission in terms of AI would be medical help. Let's say you're on a crewed mission to Mars and somebody's having a medical emergency and you can't wait 8 minutes for a communication to get to Earth and however many minutes for it to get back to you, say 8 again. You can't, someone's having a heart attack. You can't wait 15 minutes for a round trip communications with an Earthbound doctor. If you have a reasonably smart AI doctor that could be like, talking through other crew members, the immediate first aid triage stuff for a heart attack or a life-threatening event like that, that could be extremely useful for AI. Now, of course, the counterpoint is, why not just send a doctor? Just send a doctor.
So the emergency medical hologram, Robert Picardo.
On board.
Yeah. Okay.
Take the nature of your medical emergency.
Please take the nature of your medical emergency.
Yeah.
The one thing I say with the programming too is I mean I know of the X-45 was going to be a UCAV, unmanned aerial combat vehicle that was going to be able to take off, maneuver, do all of it needs to do, go to its target, come back home all on its own. You have TCAS systems on aircraft which talk to other systems and are able to program different ways to avoid other aircraft. Like, you don't need AI, you just need a good software. You don't need something that'll learn. The software required for other stuff has existed for decades already.
I could see how you could utilize it in theory, though. Like what Alex is saying, you could close, for lack of a better term, you could close the iteration loop. Whereas instead of having a human upload programming every time and determining what that programming is and like a set route or whatever, if you eliminate that 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever round trip of communication every time that has to happen, or even a subset of times that has to happen, and let the rover itself make its own choice, then you're getting more science done.
Yeah, because if the rover was, like they're doing with Perseverance, right? The thing with the rovers is they don't only go slow, but every single time they move, they need to make sure that wherever the rover went, it's a safe place, right, for it to stay and then keep driving afterwards. That there are no rocks that it cannot drive over and things like that. Like, you don't want that kind of stuff. But if the rover can identify those things, and I'm talking rover, but as you were mentioning, right, this could be a robot as well. Like maybe you have an Optimus, if you will, doing the rounds near a future landing site of Starship, and it's trying to scout a good landing spot, right? Because with cameras from orbit, you can only do so much, right? And so if you have something right there that can actually scout and walk around and take a look at the actual place, that will be a much better situation, I guess. And I think that could be an interesting application of that, if I were to guess. But we'll see.
I could keep going down this rabbit hole, but I don't want to give Chris an aneurysm, so I'll stop. It's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
Bringing it back on the topic, Snafferex says it's now called Downcomey. Oh dear.
No, it's transfer Tubi. It's transfer Tubi.
Transfer Tubi.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Turtle Sanctuary. I bet his true friends just call him Hop, you absolute hooligans. Anonymous, thanks, Senator. Oh, we got something from the store. Let's see what you got. Store message. Yeah, more TPS. That's the TPS. I can't. My eyesight is horrendous. I'm going to have to look over. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to take the microphone with me. Starship TPS Vagabond 20-ounce tumbler. Now, Americans use 20 ounces. I don't know what that is in milliliters. But
it's more than 500.
Oh, cool. That's pretty ample. That's very ample. But that's an awesome purchase. Well done for getting that. North Antarctica with a daily reminder. Almost forgot soundboard. Yeah, I think Kevin Michael Reed's completely forgotten about that as well. I still have no soundboard. Every morning I go down to I live in an apartment block. Go down to the bottom floor where the postal boxes are. I look around, hopingly, of seeing a package from the States with a soundboard inside, and every morning I'm disappointed. Still no soundboard. So sad. Jay Keegan's got a soundboard. I haven't got a soundboard. Anyway.
You know what, Chris? When it does happen, though, it's going to be glorious. Like, it's just going to be an entire Raptor side of you just making, like, fart noises and horse noises alternately for, like, an hour straight and giggling like a school child, and we're all going to love it. It's going to happen.
With great responsibility comes great power comes great responsibility, I should say, even. I will use my soundboard appropriately. Things like when I have say we have a disagreement between Alex and Ryan on a particular timeline, let's say. I think they tend to agree most of the time, but I could do the ding-ding noise. That'd be very appropriate. Yes, exactly.
Can we get like a schoolyard, like, ooh, like when somebody's, like when the teacher calls on one person, like, ooh, we need one of those.
And a round of applause when Alex gives like one of his long answers. We get to the end of it and everyone's so more informed from it and we all go...
Like the Oscars music, you can like start playing Alex off.
Yes. Oh, I see so many ideas to enrich our streams. Yet I unfortunately lack the technology. So sad. Thomas got something from the store. Now I can safely drop my coffee coffee from space. I'm going to guess that's TPS mug. It isn't always a TPS. It's the... Hang on. I'm moving back. I can't read. They're so small. Starship TPS Starship steel water bottle. Awesome. Very much appreciate it. Emma got something as well. Let's go. Thanks, NSF. Pete from Warrington. So it's not Emma. Emma's... I think Emma's paid for it. It sounds like his wife. But the message from Pete. Let's just see what Pete got. 1 second. Did you also get the same thing? Because it's not moved. The banner stayed the same. So it's the same thing. There we go. Steel bottle. Awesome. Great choices. I'm glad because I do like the TPS range, so I'm glad you all appreciate it and getting them because I think they're awesome. And they're very good quality, by the way. We don't do cheap. Even our Hawaiian shirts, people go, they're quite expensive. And yeah, because they're proper quality and they're made in America. We could have got cheap Chinese knockoffs from Temu and they'd be dirt cheap in the store, but you'd get rubbish material. So we got your best one. We got you they got the American made proper material shirts. That's why they're pricier. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever gotten a patch from the store, you know that we really care about the quality of our products, and that is not just for the patches; it's for everything.
We just get a curtain. You know these rolls for like curtains and things like that to make curtains. We just take that and have Chris make the shirts.
Oh, hang on a minute. What you put me down for?
I'm just joking.
Wait, what's the male gendered version of seamstress? Is that a seamster? Chris is a great seamster.
I desperately want to talk about Ship 37, so I don't know. Ship 37 is now entering the chopsticks. It looks like it. Is it still moving? Ryan, is it still moving?
They're trying to line it up because they have to line it up to a perfect point, basically, and then set the transport stand down at a specific location so that it's lined up with the sticks so that they can lift it onto the pad. So they're trying to get things lined up and before they...
It is moving very slowly into the sticks, according to my Mark 1 eyeball.
Right, pull some of this, Ryan. SpaceX Starship V1, that's your username, asks, it says on the Starbase website, this is transport for Static Fire 2. Have you seen that, and why would it say that?
I don't know. It could be, but I'm more of the line of it's going to be a spin prime, especially with no RVAC bracing. They can install the RVAC bracing on later, but if they really planned on a static fire, they would have likely put the RVAC bracing on before it left the bay, because it's easier to do on that work stand than it is to, say, do on the pad. And not only that, if without doing that, they can get the vehicle ready quicker. So I would expect it just to be a quick spin prime and probably only like 1 or 2 engines. And I also kind of doubt the deluge will be used at all. They don't really need that. They just need the DSS to fire at that point.
No word of a lie. Chat is full of what is a male seamstress. Apparently, there's a seam mister, but the most of them are going saying the male version of a seamstress is a tailor.
Oh, duh. I can't tell you how happy I am that you really wanted to talk about Ship 37, and yet you...
But as per usual, Jack, you invaded people's mindsets, and chat goes, never mind about that, the world's largest rocket. I want to talk about what the male version of seamstress is.
It's just a tailor. It's just a tailor. Why did I not think of that? That honestly made my day.
Seriously, I'm not joking. There's like 20 chat posts in chat right now about that.
Do you think
My
Taylor
word.
comes from tail?
Oh, no, hang on. We're going to go down Taylor Swift route now if we're not careful. And then
Two
Ryan will
different
give us a
Taylors.
answer. Yes.
One has
right.
a Y, the other one is.
I mean,
Adrian,
everyone
what-
wants their tailor to be Swift, right? I'll stop.
Yeah, Jack's on a delay, so Jack just keeps talking, and we're like, moved on. Adrian, watching NSF watching the NSF live stream is like watching Test Match Special. Americans won't know what that is. You'll never know what you're going to get next. Test Match Special is where you get radio commentary for 5-day-long games of cricket. I'm not even joking, America. You think baseball's slow? Test Match cricket is 5 days, and then you can still get a draw at the end of it.
Is that why
Yeah.
it's called cricket? Because you
Well,
can
there's-
only hear
They've
crickets.
changed it. There's different versions of cricket. You get 2020, and you've got this the 100. So it's more like a baseball game. It's like a one-night event. But yeah, the test matches are usually 5 days long. They just go on forever, and the commentators run out of things to talk about. So that's where his references. James Burr has become a launch director member. That's one of our higher levels. So thank you very much for your support. Jay Frishoff, for the soundboard, you need shark music for Jaws. You don't need to buy the soundboard for me. I need to be supplied with it from Mr. Kevin Michael Reid. But I do appreciate the support there and getting a soundboard. I'm sure you'll regret it once I do get one because I might be quite annoying with it. Lauren got something from the store. Tumbly. Let's have a look. See what you got. Hang on, wait for it. It's gonna come up on the screen when you get something from the store. Yeah, you got Tumbler. There we go. Awesome. I do think they look really good. So again, I'm not just saying that. I tend to be very careful with not recommending things I don't like. I do like those, so I recommended them. That's how it works. Sam, if for some reason I should say, SpaceX tried to SSTO, which is a single stage to orbit, Ship 37, how close do you think it would get to orbit before the propellant was depleted? Alex, that's a good question for you. Right. So, Alex, they fuel up Ship 37, fully fuel it. They launch it with its 6 engines. I presume they're going to be 5 or 6 engines to start with. How far would it get uphill before it just basically ran out of propellant and came back flying back down again?
Well, at first it wouldn't even lift off. It will probably stay there because those 6 engines don't have enough thrust to lift off the ship fully fueled. Whenever the thrust to weight ratio reaches 1 and goes over 1, then it'll start lifting off and maybe gets to space, and that's about it. You probably don't get more than maybe a quarter of the way to orbit.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Honestly, Adrian, I thought Alex even.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm like my old grandma, bless her, rest in peace. She used to go through like everyone's family name before she got to my real actual name
Yeah.
all the time because it's one of them things. Anyway, but Alex, that's fascinating because I thought there was enough power involved to get it off, but the thrust to weight ratio, so it'd be basically sat on the pad, firing its engines until it got enough.
Probably for
propellant
a
out of
minute
it.
or so until
Wow,
Yeah.
until the thrust to weight ratio is 1.
I didn't.
There's-
think that.
There's 2 problems. So hang on, Ryan. Let me address that because there's 2 problems. The first one is the numbers that we have for the thrust of the sea level engines and the vacuum engines, right? Those work. So the sea level engines, we only have the number for their sea level performance, but in vacuum, they actually perform better. So the ship, when it's burning in space, the sea level engines have a higher thrust than at sea level. The vacuum engines, they are optimized for the vacuum of space, so they have an even higher thrust than the sea levels at vacuum, because that's why they are Raptor vacuum engines. However, at sea level, they underperform the sea level engines, so their thrust is actually lower than the sea level engines. It's a whole deal with, the flow separation and all that. There's also the problem of flow separation as well, which will have to be addressed on the Raptor vacuums at sea level. So there's a whole thing there. In short, it's just that it doesn't have enough thrust to be able to fully lift off with fully fueled tanks. You will need extra sea level Raptors, or just completely replace the Raptor vacuums with sea level Raptors and things like that. But yeah, you would not be able to do SSTO. A lot of people usually come up with the delta V equation, and the one with the natural log and everything of the mass ratio and all that, and they're like, see, it's close to orbital velocity, and it's like, yeah, but you wouldn't be able to lift off. You will waste a bunch of that in just I don't know, firing against the plate at the Orbital Launch Mount.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I do want to see this one day. Pixo asks, do you guys think we'll ever see a booster and a ship roll out at the same time? I'm sure they've got enough SPMTs writing for it. They could do it.
They do.
We just haven't seen it yet. But maybe one day when the flight cadence increases to a point where they are rolling things backwards and forwards, left, right, and centre, that they may just say, let's roll out the booster and ship together.
Eventually they will. Hopefully.
I mean, you have to figure at some point they're going to roll out the ship with the payload integrated, which means they're going to roll out the ship like immediately before launch. Probably, yeah, it's totally going to happen, Chris.
Good, because I want to see it, and that'd be amazing. That would be really cool. Sympho Fanatic says, I love the streams. Need to share a clip of EJ with you. Where can I send it you? I want you all lovingly bully, I think that's belly laugh, with him on the next Flame Trench. DM me. I've got open DMs, which is probably the worst idea possible on X.
Rip your DMs.
Yeah, it's not a clever idea. But I do, because you got it, because you never know. I have open DMs on X. At NASASpaceflight is the X handle. The fun thing is, it'll probably go into the hidden area, because unless you're following someone, it goes into hidden area, and I've got like millions of messages in there, usually from people offering me special African gold mines and things like that. Because you know what X is like. But you'd send me in there, I'll look out for it. In the next hour or so, I'll look out for it and I'll find it in there. That's probably the best way of sending me on a DM on X. But yeah, just bear with me while I try and sift them through all the spam that's in there to find you. There we go. A store message. More store. People have been busy in the store. Look at this, John. Oh, I need to stay hydrated here in AZ. Is that Arizona? AZ? Americans, help me out. Is that AZ or Arizona? I'm sure it's Arizona.
It's a
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Americans. You got a stainless steel one. I think the stainless steel one's the one I really want as well, because that's one that it keeps your water cold and everything like that. Gordon, how many tiles keep the heat in the tumbler? Well, it's meant to keep the heat out, isn't it? So look, see what you got. You got the tumbler. There we go. Very good. Honestly, I think they're great. So I'm glad you got those, because they look really cool. And they'll be sent to you in the post pretty shortly, depending on where your location is. That's the only thing that changes the timeline from when the post arrives. But I think it gives you an estimate. The estimate is never perfect, but it'll give you an idea of when it's due to arrive. And you get tracking as well from the store. The store gives you tracking links, so you can keep an eye on where the progress is as it wings its way point to point to your home address. Steve Pempleton, I recognise your name. Are you an L2 member? I recognise your name. Ship 37 will roll to the pad at least 3 times. Will this be a record for the ship? Alex, I'm thinking I've seen more rollouts of different vehicles. Am I just going bonkers?
Nowhere near the record for rollouts. Yeah.
Nope.
I thought so.
You have to beat things like Ship 20, Ship 24, who went back and forth. I don't even know how many. Ship 24, 1, 2.
It's like
3,
7 times, 6 or 7 at the very least.
I have to go back and double check it. Ship 24 was at least several. Ship 20, I mean, I think that was at least like 7 or 8. Like there's a lot. You're not beating those. No.
Jesse wants real TPS tiles on the outside of Tumbler. Let's go a stage further. Let's get real SpaceX tiles and then get into big trouble with SpaceX because they don't like it. If you ever go to Starbase and you pick up something that may have come off a Starship or something like that, SpaceX will tend to want it back. Little trip for you there. I know people pick up things from the beach and what have you. And that's fine. We're not going to argue with that. But tend to be a case of SpaceX's rules tend to be is please hand it back because they want it back because it's their property. It'd be fun though, wouldn't it? It costs quite a lot though. I must admit. I think the tumbler price would go up quite a lot in the store. I've got Sigington actually has the answer to the SPMT question. 16 rows of wheels, 16 wheels per SMT, or about 128 wheels on transport. Again, depending on the configuration, as Alex was mentioning earlier. I think we'll call that it for this stream because it's going to be sat there for quite a while now. They've got to put stabilizers in, they've got to get ready for the lift. It's going to take a while. We have SBL always to keep an eye on things, so we will not miss the lift. The only thing that's lacking, maybe people talking on it, but that's fine because it's quite a short lift, as you can imagine. It's only lifting onto the mount. It won't take long at all. We've seen it before. It took about 20 minutes to actually do the lift, but it's a while before they do lift it, so we can't stay live until that time because my brain will die and I'll be stop mumbling nonsense as I tend to be anyway. But a way to keep an eye on these things is SBL. We will be tweeting out things like the lift, and of course we don't just use X. We use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the whole manner of devices of your social media preferences, thanks to our amazing team in the behind the scenes. So depending on what you prefer, take your social feeds and your updates, we have it on NSF. So we've got you covered on all the bases there. Of course, Starbase Live will be watching all the way through. Regardless, keep an eye on this. So let me thank who's been on this stream. Shall we start with Jack? Because Jack's been out there in heat, getting these views for us. So thank you, Jack.
Of course, happy to be here. Thank you, everybody, so much for the support. Chris, I don't know how you put up with me, but thank you too.
I put up with you because you're great. That's why I put up with you. Well, less of that, Jack, putting yourself down. You're brilliant.
Well, just let it be known that I never have to tailor my commentary because I'm worried about how you'll receive it.
Oh,
See you later.
Oh, thanks, Sawyer. Right, moving quickly on. We've also got an Alex on. Thank you, Alex.
that was awesome. But yeah, short stream here, and hopefully we get some testing tomorrow.
Indeed, and thanks also, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
It's always fun, always a pleasure to get on and talk Starship, Chris. We'll see if they test tomorrow night or Wednesday. So
he never comes on mic like Kevin Michael Reed, but we had Jay Keegan in the background producing for us. So thank you to Jay as well, because Jay made it all work, and we went very smoothly through that stream. It was a very good stream, so I really appreciate Jay's production qualities there. And before I start mumbling nonsense, I'm going to say thank you for joining us, and until next time, goodbye.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, Atlantis.
Water towers fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Flight downside FD off. Bring in FD off. It's orange! Orange 45! Oh my god! Oh my god! Decollage! Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go. Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
This methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You read? We don't need any more of these.